What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to recruit Daisy Johnson aka Quake. We'll also take a brief look at her in action, but first, let's go ahead and check out all of her abilities. The first thing you'll notice is this is Modern Quake, and she is a Tactician. She has two passives, Displacement Wave, which says chance to evade ranged attacks, and Feel the Vibrations. Chance to gain rising up after anyone's sonic action. Now that passive is going to be really good, especially with someone like Avalanche, and there's also plenty of sonic weapons for your agent as well. So we'll explore all that in detail once we get her into PvP range. Next, moving on to her individual abilities. First we have Frack Attack. This is an unarmed melee sonic ability that has combo setup, causes flanked, and Foreshock. Foreshock of course says ground attacks against his target deal extra damage. Now that is a very impressive first attack. Combo setup and flanked are two phenomenal debuffs, especially flanked. And finally we get an ability outside the Small Hadron Collider that has Foreshock. Next, moving on to our level 2, this is Seismic Wave. It's a ranged sonic attack that applies grounded, so flying characters are no longer immune to ground attacks, ignores most evasion effects, and ground attacks are guaranteed to be critical hits. It also applies Shell Shocked, so it takes damage after using an offensive action. Also a chance to take damage after using a counterattack or follow-up. And Shell Shock used to be a really impressive debuff. It's still a very welcome extra source of damage. So far Daisy's looking pretty tough. Then for her level 6, the Mega Thrust Earthquake. This is an AoE ranged ground sonic attack, so it does ignore most protect and avoidance effects. It also causes immobilized, so unable to use melee abilities on all the opponents. Of course that debuff shuts down someone like Quicksilver for example, so that is incredible. But it also causes Aftershock, so deals ground damage to affected character's team before the next action. You know what, this character I really don't think is going to disappoint. She definitely seems solid. But let's check out her level 9. Harmonic Tremor. It's a ranged sonic attack that has Brutal Strike, it's catastrophic, then has deadly crits and finest hour. So yet another great ability from Quake. I tell you what, I would have bought her no matter what. But I think she may actually be worth her 90 CP. And also it's Skye from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So of course we're happy to have her. In fact though, let's check out her bio for anyone who may not be familiar with this character. Personally recruited by Nick Fury, Daisy Johnson, codenamed Quake, is one of the few special agents in S.H.I.E.L.D. to have the director's complete trust. An orphan child, Daisy only recently learned her true lineage. Her mother had latent inhuman genes and her father is a terrible supervillain, Mr. Hyde. Quake has developed the ability to generate powerful vibrations that can target the smallest of organs or create earthquakes. She's an incredibly smart and resourceful agent, and has even been a representative of S.H.I.E.L.D. as a member of the Avengers. Then as far as her team-ups, she doesn't share a ton of bonuses with any hero, but she does have a few with Black Widow, Hawkeye, and a couple others here and there. But enough of all of that, it's time to finally unlock her. So that's going to take us 90 CP, and then we'll see her animation and recruitment dialogue before checking her out in PvE. Well, only Ant-Man and Spider-Man Noir remaining. Other than that, we have all the heroes and every costume. It's good to finally meet you, Agent. The director speaks highly of you. Just pro tip, if anyone asks if you want a vacation, don't go to Tahiti, okay? But it's a magical place. Okay though. Now as we use her in PvE, I'm of course going to use her with Avalanche, but I'm not going to equip any of the Maddening Method set or the amplified subsonic sound gun, but we will do that later, especially in PvP. For now, we're just taking a quick look at her, and I'm keeping my agent set up to where we can easily clear all the enemies. I take leveling very seriously. And in fact, I'm going to show you one of my secret tips this coming week. It's just a great way to level heroes, and I'll show you that step by step. I know I also have to do the Spec Op 28 task list videos, but you may be able to tell I'm not feeling too good right now. My throat is absolutely killing me, so I'll try to do that later, because I know how important it is to get out to a fast start. As far as Daisy here, you can see that she has benefited from rising up. She now has Fortified, so those sonic moves can come in handy. But we're pretty limited on attacks at level 1. So what we're going to do is level her up to 2, and then we'll try her out in just one more battle before we end this one. Jumping ahead in time, we're at level 2, we have Avalanche once again, and it looks like we're going to get a turn with Daisy right away. First we begin with Epicenter, and then we'll use our level 1. With that, we'll just attack the bottom scrapper. That causes Sky is Falling, and luckily we do get a Relentless Rapier follow-up, so that's going to take out the bottom target. So with my agent, we can use the Vigilante Mask and drop another target. We'll take out the Bruiser this time. Next on Daisy's turn, we'll use her newly acquired level 2, but first you can see we got Fortified and Strengthened, all because of our teammates' sonic attacks. This seismic wave attack is of course going to cause shell shock, and it also procs some fallen debris. Next, after the opponent uses a drill punch, he does take feedback, and we'll finish him off with a fault line. This may have caused Daisy to gain more rising up buffs, but it looks like she's still at Fortified and Strengthened. If I had to choose a buff to get though, it would be Strengthened. Then after that, we'll use a Shockwave. We get another Sky is Falling and Rapier follow-up. So we are making pretty quick work out of these enemies, but that is always the goal. Also, the sooner we level her, the sooner we can check her out in PvP. That's it for this first look, but I will have another video about her as soon as I can. So make sure to subscribe, please like and comment, and until next time, good luck and take care.